All right, welcome back, everybody. Today, we're diving into a matchup that, at first glance, might seem kind of predictable. We got the Celtics.
Yep.
They're aiming for a championship. And then there's the Wizards, who are, well, they're rebuilding.
Yeah, after those big roster moves.
Exactly. But I have this feeling things might be a bit more interesting than they seem.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the sources we have definitely lay out, like, the strengths and weaknesses for both these teams. But what I find really fascinating is how the Wizards, even though they're rebuilding, they can still pose some serious challenges.
Especially for a team like the Celtics, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's break it down a bit. We know the Celtics have that championship history, and Tatum and Brown are incredible.
Yeah, a true force.
But what makes their offense so tough to defend? Like, specifically?
It's more than just those star players. It's their whole system. Think speed, think precision, think three-pointers.
Lots of three-pointers.
Oh, yeah. And they've got multiple guys who can just nail those shots consistently. So that stretches the floor, makes it so hard for the other team to keep up.
So you can't just focus on shutting down one or two guys?
Nope. You need a defensive strategy that covers the whole court.
Gotcha. All right, now the Wizards. They're in a different stage, more focused on building up their young players. What are their strengths coming into this game?
Well, they got a lot of potential, especially with guys like Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma leading the way.
Right.
Poole, now his scoring ability is really something. He can create his own shot, hit from deep, finish at the rim. I think the Celtics are going to have their hands full trying to stop him.
That's what makes this so interesting to me, is like Poole's almost unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know when he's going to just explode.
He brings that chaos factor, which can be a huge advantage, especially against a team like the Celtics. They thrive on structure.
Discipline, yeah.
Exactly. And then you've got Kuzma. He's versatile, can score in different ways. He matches up pretty well against Tatum, too.
Interesting.
If he can take advantage of any weaknesses in Boston's defense, the Wizards could actually make this a really good game.
Okay, so we've got the offensive firepower on both sides. But what about the coaches?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Mazzulla for the Celtics clearly wants to make Boston a contender. And then you've got Wes Unseld Jr. with the Wizards trying to build something new with a younger team. How do their coaching styles play into this matchup?
That's where things get really fascinating. Mazzulla's system, it's all about efficiency. Create those opportunities for Tatum and Brown to shine. He's got a deep roster with lots of offensive options, and he uses them strategically.
Keeps the pressure on.
Oh, yeah.
Nonstop.
So what about Unseld Jr.? How do you think he'll approach this game knowing they're up against a tough opponent?
He's in a tough spot for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also an opportunity to get creative. He's got to find ways to counter that Boston offense and give his younger players a chance to show what they can do. One thing our source material really highlights is how the Wizards need to disrupt Boston's rhythm.
Force turnovers, protect the paint. It's a big ask, but that's their best shot at keeping things close.
So Unseld Jr. has to come up with a plan that basically shuts down the Celtics' strengths while letting his own guys make plays and, gain experience.
Precisely. It's that delicate balance. But that's what's so cool about coaching a younger team.
Right.
You're not just aiming for wins. You're developing talent. You're building a culture.
Right. Okay, so two teams with distinct styles, two coaches with very different goals. But where the real action happens is in those key matchups.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where we're headed next.
All right, so buckle up, everyone, because we're about to break down some of the most exciting player battles in this Celtics-Wizards showdown.
All right, let's jump right into it. The matchup everybody's talking about, Tatum versus Kuzma.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Tatum's having an MVP caliber season. Over 30 points a game. Just incredible. But can Kuzma, can he really hold his own against a player like that?
That's the big question. I'm really curious to see how Kuzma approaches this. Tatum can score from anywhere. He's just so hard to guard.
Right. That killer instinct.
Yeah.
I think for Kuzma, the key is going to be playing smart, disciplined defense.
Yeah.
Our sources suggest forcing Tatum into tough shots, disrupt his rhythm early.
Make him work for it.
Exactly. Don't let him get into that flow,
Yeah.
the flow he thrives on.
Right. So Kuzma has to be physical, but also strategic. But it can't just be about defense, can it?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Kuzma needs to be a threat on offense, too, especially if the Wizards want to keep up with Boston.
For sure.
It's got to be assertive, look for those scoring opportunities. Actually, our sources point out something interesting. Boston's defense, while strong overall, they've shown some vulnerability against those versatile scorers. the ones who can attack from different spots on the court.
So Kuzma could actually use that to his advantage.
He might have a chance to exploit those weaknesses, yeah. Make a real impact offensively.
That's an angle I hadn't really considered. Okay, so what about Jordan Poole? He's going up against a Celtics defense that's known for shutting down perimeter players. How do you think that'll play out?
Poole against the Celtics perimeter D. That's where things get really interesting. Poole's a dynamic scorer, but we know he could be a little inconsistent. And the Celtics, they're all about that disciplined, switching defense.
Right.
They'll probably throw different looks at Poole, try to keep him off balance, force those tough shots.
So it's like unpredictable talent versus system.
Right, exactly. Classic clash of styles. Can Poole's raw talent overcome that disciplined defense? Or will the Celtics just, be too much? I think it'll come down to Poole's decision-making. Can he stay patient, find the open man when they double-team him, pick his spots? If you could do that, he could have a massive impact on the game.
So it sounds like Poole has to find a balance between just going for it and actually playing within the offense.
That's it. Knowing when to take over, when to trust his teammates. But hey, let's not forget about Boston's three-point shooting. It's been huge for them this season.
Oh, yeah. Celtics are like a three-point machine. So many guys who can knock those down consistently. How are the Wizards supposed to defend against that?
It's tough. For any team. But the Wizards, they can't afford to let Boston get hot from beyond the arc. Our sources emphasize the need for closeouts. Got to be disciplined, challenge every shot, no easy looks.
So, got to be aggressive, can't give him any space. But doesn't that mean they'll have to give up something defensively somewhere else on the court?
It's a trade-off, for sure. They got to prioritize that three-point line, but they can't completely ignore the paint. If they can force the Celtics into those contested mid-range shots, limit second-chance points, and avoid fouling too much, they'll be in much better shape.
It sounds like the Wizards have a lot to deal with. The Celtics just have so many weapons on offense and defense.
Yeah, they do. But basketball is a game of momentum, of adjustments. And the Wizards, they might be the underdogs, but they've got the talent to pull off an upset. If they can disrupt that Celtics rhythm, get some turnovers, and capitalize on any mistakes Boston makes, well, this could be a much closer game than people think.
I like that you're pointing out that the Wizards could really make this a competitive game.
Oh, for sure.
Celtics might be favored, but predictions aren't everything. There's so much more to this than just who wins or loses. It's not just about the final score, is it? For the Wizards, this game is a chance to learn and grow, no matter what the outcome is. They're going up against, like, a top-tier team.
Yeah, and that's huge. Think about it. For a young team like the Wizards, every single game is a chance to get better.
Right.
They learn from their mistakes. They build chemistry. They develop that toughness that you need to compete at the highest level.
So you're saying even if the Wizards don't get the win, there are still valuable takeaways, those little signs of progress.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Watch those individual performances. See how Poole handles the pressure of going against such a strong defense. Can Kuzma make smart decisions on both ends of the court consistently? Those things tell you a lot about where this team's headed.
It's like looking for those flashes of potential, those moments where you think, okay, this team, they're building something special. And those moments, they can happen even in a loss.
Oh, totally. Sometimes a loss can teach you more than a win. It forces a team to really look at their weaknesses, make adjustments, dig deep. And that's what leads to growth.
So for the listener who's tuning into this game, what are some things to keep an eye on beyond just the score? What can we learn from this matchup, win or lose?
Watch for those standout moments, those bursts of individual talent. Pay attention to how the coaches adjust their strategies throughout the game. See how the Wizards respond to adversity, how they deal with the pressure of playing a team like the Celtics.
It's about understanding the little things, those strategic battles, realizing that every matchup tells a story.
Exactly. And that's what makes this kind of deep dive so great. We're not just watching the game. We're exploring what's going on beneath the surface, those stories that make basketball so fascinating.
That's a great way to put it. This deep dive has really given me a new perspective on this matchup. I'm going into this game looking for more than just the obvious.
Yeah.
I want to see those subtle details, those things you might miss if you're not paying attention.
And that's the beauty of basketball, right? There's always something new to learn, something you didn't expect, something that makes you rethink how you see the game.
I couldn't agree more. I'm excited to see how this unfolds, and I bet our listeners are too. So let's enjoy the game, appreciate the athleticism, the strategies, the drama, and remember, this is more than just a game. This is a deep dive into the heart of basketball. Thanks for being with us.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.